Boys.
Yo.
Good.
I'm good, we good.
How you been?
I'm chilling, bro.
I'm good.
You?
I'm good. Nah, easy.
That's the way, that's the only way.
Boyz Aloud, take one. So just today we're speaking about the misunderstanding between us and
our parents. Yeah.
With the unusual things,
Yeah.
in their words, unusual or crazy or abnormal or we didn't do this back in our time.
Oh yeah, this
Things.
that one.
We want that
so things changed from
Yeah.
there.
So how do you just feel about like misunderstanding between us and our parents? In Qatar, now they call us the 2000s.
Yeah,
I'm a 2000 whatever.
Yeah.
How do you just
Me personally at home, it's like, there's a mutual understanding, I guess. I don't really get that much time to talk with my friends because they're so busy. But like whenever we talk about me going out or doing something, it's always like, hey, why, we have to like have a level of understanding. Not that they're cheeky or anything now, we're all good. It's that I understand when people say that, it's different because they live differently compared to us. Us right now, me personally, I feel like we were advanced. Everything is easier to get, but it's more complicating, But I feel like for us, it's a time to be alive because, we have a bit more freedom. And for them, it's like so much freedom and it brings so much confusion. You can see that when we are doing certain things, you can see there's not a level of understanding. They are shocked.
Yeah. My take on it, like as I've realized as we grow, there's certain things that I understand where they're coming from, but that doesn't mean things should still be the way it was before. Sometimes when I were to go out or something, they'll be like, no, you need to come back at this time because of this and that. I'm like, okay, no, but like understand that you should trust me, and trust that I'm gonna do the right thing. Yes, in your times, you guys had to go through like apartheid and all, and you coming back at like 1 a.m. or 2 a.m. was not ideal. But like right now, it's a better world, Obviously we have our own issues. But like understand that you should trust me more than anything else, that whatever I go do outside, that you're gonna trust that you have raised a child. Basically you trusting me is trusting what you have crafted, basically.
There is a huge gap, obviously, of misunderstanding, right? Because obviously our parents, they're wiser, right? They know better, right? Or they think they like know better. Like they know better, they know better.
Maybe you can say they think.
Well, no, but like they do think they know better because I need to they do, right?
Yeah.
But it's a wide variety of things like that we don't mix with like things like in the ways in which we wanna go about doing things.
Yeah, true.
The ideas we have now. Sometimes the arguments we have with our parents, like sometimes they don't get how we dress, the music we listen to. Things like going outside and going out and coming back late.
Yeah.
You understand? So also social media has played a big part of it.
Yeah, true. A big factor.
So there's a lot we could speak about, honestly.
Especially when you're talking about like social media. They don't understand that this is where we now, this is our new hustle.
Exactly.
Social media is the new norm, this is how we now interact with people, but like not doing it the traditional way. And it's something that they also need to understand, that not everything that we do in social media is bad, but sometimes it is good because it's now easier than before, but they should try and understand.
Why is it important that parents should understand their children? I feel like as you grow older, like it's no longer as clear, because I feel like sometimes my parents still think I like the same things I liked when I was 12 or 11. And in fact, it's like when it comes to buying things that I want, especially like clothes, right? When I'm looking at this aisle, they're looking at another aisle, So it's like, now I feel like it's kind of shows you how you have to really like keep in contact with your parents, tell them like, I like this. But it's easier said than done because sometimes I feel like they hear us, but they don't listen. Yes, exactly what I want to say. They hear us, they're like, okay, I know you like this, but they're not listening because they still find themselves, purchasing the same items. And you're not like getting upset because you got to be grateful at the same time. But at home, like I have this relationship with my mom, right? I pick certain clothes, and she always asks me, why not this sweater? And I just say, you know, I'll wear it at church, I'll wear it another day. But deep down, I know that, you know, I'm not gonna wear it anytime soon because I like it, but I can't say I don't like it. I can say I don't like it, but then they're gonna be like, oh, you know, it's so difficult to buy you clothes. And that's the argument you had the other day. It's difficult. He says that it's difficult to buy me clothes because they don't know what I like. But what I like is literally, you know, simple.
I feel like, yeah, it is important that parents should understand children, because sometimes, you know, I would say like some parents they would like kind of set like a goal for their kids, you know, or like they wish to achieve their dreams through their kids. But like it is important that you understand what type of a child you have, you know, a creative, oh, she's very smart at this and all. And then you at least know to give guidance on the path that your child wants to go into, you know, unlike forcing them to do something that you think is best for them. Yes, you know what's best for us, but at the end of the day, we know what could make us happy. As much as we appreciate that you supporting us, you know, but at the end of the day, there is gonna be bad news whereby you're gonna leave us into this world, and you want to leave us into the world that we will be able to take care of ourselves, knowing that we're doing what we want to do. So that's why it's important they understand us.
Yeah, for real. Then it makes everything easier, you feel me? Because then there's always, because then when your parents don't understand you, there's always some conflict.
Yeah.
Like, you feel me? There's always
small.
And it's even,
Then
a small
becomes a big thing.
Exactly, then becomes a big thing. Funny story. Like, sometimes your parents can like make one thing that you do that's so unusual to them, and then they'll just point you to everything else in your life. Let's say, for example, like now you pierce your ears and you wear earrings, they'll think that's the reason why you're failing. It's like, bro, like actually, like sense. Bro, and parent, like, you know, so like that the understanding is important because then it reduces conflict and it creates a better understanding, and it's important for parents to understand that they're also raising a new generation of children who grew up through social media and all of these other things. We didn't grow up through apartheid, none of those things, through the struggle, right? We have a different type of struggle now. Parents are unreasonable.
Yeah.
Well, it depends. Okay, I'm not gonna say they are, but I'm not gonna say they're not. So it's just in between, right? I sit in between because there are some times where you can reason with your parents over like certain things, you see, where you can just get like come across a problem and then get over it, and then, you know what I'm saying, just keep moving on. But then there are times where they are unreasonable, like, and maybe this is just a thing that maybe we just need to, maybe we're gonna grow and understand where they come from.
Yeah.
You understand? Because sometimes I feel like we also just don't try to understand where our parents are coming from. You feel me? But we always expect them to understand where we come from.
Yeah.
You feel me? And they are unreasonable in the aspect of, I want you just to understand me. You feel me? You don't, like, just understand me. Like, that's, like, if that makes sense. Like, but then we also need to understand them, so we're being unreasonable as well. You feel me? So, I sit in between, right? But then it depends also.
For me, with that part is like, you know, when it comes to being unreasonable, I won't lie, like, if a parent can be unreasonable if they do not choose to answer a question that says why. You know? I feel like if a child asks you, why do they have to do what they're doing? Back then it was seen as, nah, you don't question. You know? It is disrespectful to question and all. But now, the thing is, like, we are evolving, you know? Things are happening. And a parent to me is unreasonable if they don't answer why. If it can be anything. If you tell your child to do this and they are saying why, answer why. Don't say, I do it. To me, that's being unreasonable. Just answer why, and then that's when the understanding comes into play.
I feel like those talks you don't want to talk about with your children. Those awkward topics you don't want to talk about. Those ones you like, you know, you'll learn from school. The teachers will teach them those topics. Those are the topics you have to talk about, unfortunately. As awkward as they can be, you have to talk about it. Like topics like dating, topics about finding yourself, gender, friends, drugs, job, money. Topics that like you feel like you went through them as a child and your parents didn't talk to you about them, and now with your child you're not going to talk about them as well. I feel like they should like learn, because being a parent, you don't get taught to be a parent, you just have to learn how to do it, unfortunately. But they should break the cycle of like, you know, not talking about these And like another problem I wanna quickly address is that like when parents have, for example, like more than one child, right? Let's say they have a second born, they tend to raise their child the same way they raised the firstborn. And now with the second, you can't expect the second born and the firstborn to be the same, right? So it's like different times, they're born at different times. And even though it's the same era, they different people. So it leads to them like making the mistake and the child ends up suffering in a way. You feel me?
Yeah, that makes sense. Yeah. One thing that we also need to talk to our parents about is that let's stop the comparison of like back then you used to do this.
Yeah.
And until like you understand like me when I was your age, I used to walk and all but but now the thing is sharp. You were walking when you were 19.
You're walking.
And now I have the opportunity to maybe try. Instead of you trying to focus on the fact that you are walking, why don't you appreciate that I'm driving, that
walking.
You worked hard for me to have a better life than you did. You know, and that's where we would get the understanding between us kids and parents, you know, unlike just trying to make us feel guilty for you being fortunate to our life or you being a blessing to our life, you know. So yeah, that's what I think also.
I'm gonna reference what you said, like if you can believe in your craft, then trust me. I need to say I'm your child, so you created like a replica of yourself in another shape or form, maybe even in another gender.
Yeah.
So you need to trust in what you put all your work into.
Yeah.
You understand? So whether this child has a different plan that does not go with yours, just trust me. Right? So that's why I believe that as a parent, you should always trust your child. But then that comes with understanding and reasoning, so that's...
Also like time, because I feel like
time.
It depends on like a specific child. My parents trust me, because they tell me they trust me, and I know they trust me because of I'm not a problematic child. My parents haven't got a call from school, I haven't had like detention, I haven't had anything bad, like when I used to go to traditional school, right? My grades, they haven't been slipping, so that's why they trust me. When I go out, there's no, did you see your son on social media? You know, they trust me. I get back home, maybe 2 hours late before curfew, but I'm still home, you know? So they trust me. But other kids, my peers, I know I can be hard to trust them because, you know, they come back home looking like not the same. You even come back the next day, you know, so it's harder. But why they should trust them, it's a leap of faith, It's a leap of faith. You can't control your child, unfortunately. Like, if you think your child is perfect, unfortunately, I doubt it's that. But you just have to, you know, deal with it.
Like, no, for me, trust is like what you said, you know, trusting what you have, you know, raised, you know, and at the same time, it's like, I trust you, you know, you lead by example, so let me trust you back, you know. So especially to what you said also is that like some parents are okay when like kids come back the next day, all right? It's because they made an understanding that okay, my child is gonna go there, this is what he's gonna do, but I trust that he or she comes back in one piece and okay, you know. And some parents are like fine with like maybe when you're like 18 already, like some parents understand that okay, my kid is at a stage whereby she's gonna be drinking or he's gonna be drinking. Let me sit with them, drink and see how they are, so that I can trust that they will be okay when they drink somewhere else. So that it's not an issue whereby okay, they come back the next day. They come, okay, I know my child is coming back the next day, but I've seen how he drinks. He drinks very well with me, and I trust that he'll do the same thing when he's with other people. Like, so it's that understanding that builds that also.
I like that you mentioned that, because you know what's funny is that like with my parents, right, they don't drink or smoke, nor do I, right? But I feel like for my friends, right, whose parents have the same beliefs not to drink and smoke, and they do that. But I feel like it'll be heartbreaking or painful for them to witness their child, like, you know, go into the type of activity. Even though you can't control it because your child may find an interest in it, right? But I can just imagine the pain and like, wow, like my child is actually into this. But at the same time, it's like, that's the difficulty of being a parent. It is what it is.
It is what it is, you know.
You know, you can't control your child. You'll be lucky if your child heads down the same route that you did. But like, I don't think it's like, you know, going to be the same thing all the time.
I think it is a serious problem that we are misunderstood by our parents, because it's something that will separate us, you know. Like, we won't be able to engage, You know, every time you open up and then there's just no understanding. The next time you want to open up again, you'll feel like, it's useless.
Exactly,
You know,
yeah,
and you don't feel like
and the
it's worth it.
misunderstanding, just like it creates a disconnect.
Yeah,
like, there's
like a
nothing.
disconnection
It's like
and all.
then, like there's no base. Everything is just baseless.
Yeah.
Because then even when you need help, you're just like, but these people are not gonna
fine.
understand what
They're
I'm
not gonna
saying, so let me
understand.
just leave.
Yeah.
Just leave.
And then you resort to other things, friends,
Other people.
You see.
Me personally at home, my parents understand me on certain topics. I would be lying if I said that I understood me.
Like
True.
Like me, my parents. Okay, I'm lying, man. Sometimes I walk out my room thinking I'm the coolest person in the world.
Yeah.
The way I'm dressed. Then they look at me and they're like, "What are you wearing?" I'm like, "Dog, actually, can I show you guys something? Can I just show you guys something? Right? You see these? How can you look at these, bro? Look. You can't hate on these. You can't hate on these, bruh. These. And my dad hates these. It's whatever, I guess. But like my parents, you know, they it's not like they hate my swag or whatever. they just don't understand it.
Yeah.
Because sometimes I dress like it's negative 1 degrees outside when it's 35 degrees.
Yeah, true.
So it's like,
Bro.
so yeah, it's whatever. But like, obviously we love them and appreciate them.
Facts,
man.
100%.
Yeah. And like, you know, and like once, an uncle of mine once said, like, if you can't answer the why, because I mean, my parents say, well, then why are you dressing like this? Why do you like these shades? Why do you wear earrings? All these things. If you can't answer the why when your parents are asking you it, then how you gonna expect to be asked? Like
How do you expect them to understand it?
How exactly? Like you need
true.
to be able to answer the why in everything that you do. So I guess like out of this whole misunderstanding, when your parents always ask you, okay, now I'm listening to you, so why do you do this?
Yeah.
And you can answer that, you'll always be you'll be in a way set for life if you can answer the why and what you do and the situations you put yourself. You feel me?
The issues that we may face if we do not fix the whole understanding between us and our parents, you know, could lead to us getting information somewhere else. And remember, the guidance that we get from our parents is because of love, you know, but then when the danger of getting it somewhere else is because it can purely be because of anything, you know. Sometimes some people, they don't look at your back, you know, they don't watch out for you the way your parents do. So probably they'll give you advice that will kind of destroy the relationship between you and your family.
Yeah.
So that's why it's important that we speak to our parents all the time, but at the same time, they should also try and be at least on our level so that we can open up and talk about it, you know?
Okay, with my parents, I feel like, you know, we understand each other. But I can imagine for like my peers that have, you know, their parents when they don't understand. I feel like their parents, actually, let me just say that in my situation, because it'll make sense if they could, you know, spend more time like, you know, after work, because I know work can get busy, work can get tough, it can get like, you know, very difficult to maintain a relationship with your children. But, you know, finding time, you know, just to, you know, coming back home, you know, talking with them. They don't even have to be like 2 hours, maybe half an hour. You know, just trying to see what's happening. Because most of the time, you notice that you get back from school, they're at work or they're working. You only have like a limited family time, right? And now when you only like have yourself to guide you, you end up making a lot of mistakes.
It's sometimes we just bottle it in, you know, we just be like, okay, I guess I'll have to deal with it myself. And then we would think it's a manly thing to do, you know, but only to find out it just makes you weaker and weaker. And so those are the dangers that come with it, you know. So it's important that we engage with one another, find an understanding, open up to anything and everything. And once we do that, then I feel like we're safe in general.
Some of the most like, let me not be negative, but like corrupt or people who behave badly haven't like got their questions answered by their parents, but got them answered from a friend, you know. So it leads to like problems nowadays that we see, like, why is this child so rebellious? But then you realize that, you know, he learned like this from his friends, but his parents didn't answer this question.
That makes sense, yeah.
But to close up, I just feel like parents who are watching right now, if you can just talk to your children about topics you don't feel comfortable about at all. You know, do your best to understand them.
Hello, parents, mom, dad. Just hear us out sometimes. Sometimes we are a little bit difficult, like but just, you know, just try to adjust. Yeah, nah, you know, just yeah.
Yeah, hey, mom, dad, sister, brother, aunt, uncle, next door neighbor, anyone can be a parent, you know?
Well,
like they said, takes a village to raise a kid. Just look out for us, you know? Just watch what we do, you know? And maybe once we make the mistake, that's when you can intervene. But sometimes we just need to fall and get on our feet, learning. Yes, you give us the advice saying that, nah, don't do this, but we want to find out ourselves also. Sometimes it can hurt you. I know, but it is what it is, but yeah.
Thanks for tuning into the episode. Share us your thoughts, your comments down below in the comment section. Please subscribe, notify the bell.
Subscribe.
We have an episode every second Thursday. You know what I'm saying? You can interact with us, on
Instagram.
Yes, sir.
And in the comment section below.
In the comment section below.
Yeah.
So just
On iJob, Boyz Aloud.
Boyz Aloud. Boyz Aloud. Yeah.
And we out.
Yeah.